That's no moon.
Clear Bay 327. We are opening the magnetic field.
Hello there, and welcome to Docking Bay 327. Today we're going to be discussing some of the floor lighting that I've installed. The first will be the other half of the Great Greebly that we discussed in last week's episode. And if you haven't seen that episode, you can click the link right here or in the description below. Go check that out first and then come back and watch this one. It'll make a whole lot more sense. The next piece is something that I found through some research on how they built some of the sets from the original movies, and then I went and found a piece very similar to that, and then of course added lights to it and made it a pretty cool platform. Next, we'll discuss how I integrated a smoke machine into that flooring so that we could get that cool steam from some of the different sections of the movie. And then finally, I want to discuss how I paint the room with light and shadows. So let's get started. So here again is the drain grate I found at Lowe's. This one jumped out at me more than the others because the size and shape of the grate reminded me of the lighting from the floor of the corridors in the Millennium Falcon. See how close it is to the perfect shape? Because I don't have a fancy CNC machine or a laser cutter, the only way I can make this shape is with a drill and a jigsaw. Now, you know I don't have a problem with that because that's how I built everything else. But the combination of usable pieces from this one purchase and the fact that I could save a ton of time and get the lighting grate I wanted was a no-brainer. So I went to work building a quick frame. The other great thing about these grates are they have a channel in them that can hold a diffuser. I used perforated plastic, the kind you make yard signs out of. Diffusing the light is key in getting that Star Wars look. If you watch the movies, you'll notice that you never really see the actual source or the bulb. It just kind of helps sell the feel that you're in another galaxy far, far away. So here they are installed in my office. I found some inexpensive LED strip lights that work great, and they allow me to change the color to whatever mood I'm in. I'll put a link in the description below. We interrupt this program for a Great Greebly Discovery. Next up are the pallets I found. Yep, plastic pallets that are used to haul all kinds of products. As a matter of fact, the pallets I bought were delivered on a wooden pallet. So, anyway, I read an article on set designers for the first Star Wars movies. You know, back then they didn't have a very big budget, so they used a lot of things that were just readily available and fairly cheap. So they used these pallets for the floor of the Millennium Falcon, as well as the floor of the detention block hallways where Princess Leia was held captive. And they even used them in the ceiling of her cell. So I did some searching and found these on Amazon. Now, they weren't super cheap, but they were definitely worth the price to me. I was able to use one full size and then cut the other one up to fit the engine room corner. I added some of that same perforated plastic to diffuse the LEDs to give it more of an in-universe feel. I painted them and added a couple of panels to the sides to finish them up. This has been a Great Greebly Discovery. While I was putting them together, I thought it'd be really cool if I could incorporate some sort of small fog machine into the riser. That way it could be, contained within the floor itself. I tell you what, man, when I set the lights to orange and run a little fog through it, man, it really feels like I'm in carbonite chamber in Bespin. Oh, whoops. I'm getting way ahead of myself here. For now, it gives me an awesome floor for my engine room, and the fog easily fills my small office quickly and really brings all the lighting in the room to life. See how cool? My eyes are burning. Oh. Now, I mentioned painting with lights and shadows at the start. Lighting can really make or break an environment. Let me show you what I mean. Without all the LEDs turned on, the room can look completely different. Lighting colors can completely change the feel as well. Here we have more of a Death Star / Millennium Falcon type feel, right? But we change it to a dark orange, and voila. Suddenly, we're in Cloud City, looking for our old buddy Lando to help us out. Now let's take a look at how I use shadows to actually kick it up another notch. We saw this picture of the Millennium Falcon engine room in last week's video, and I mentioned how I really like the lighting coming through the grates. So, I took part of the leftover plastic palette and cut it to fit over one of my overhead floodlights, and it worked perfectly. It casts some really cool shadows across the floor and my archway, and just really gives the whole room a cool movie set type feel. I simply put a couple of mounting boards to the ceiling and bolted the section of palette in place. It looks especially cool when some of the fog is still lingering, casting these light beams for added effect. So there you have it. Some of my Star Wars inspired floor lighting, and a whole lot of fog, and a little bit of shadow, all put together to give me that feel that I'm truly in a galaxy far, far away. I hope you're enjoying these videos because I sure am having a lot of fun making them. I do want to thank you again for all of the great support in comments, feedback, subscribers, everything. It's been really great. So if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and please share it. Let other friends of yours that you know that like Star Wars. And until next time, build with what you know and figure out the rest. One will be the opposite. One will be the other piece of the Great Greeblies. One will be the. Damn it. One will be the. Get this thing off.